in the time it takes for me to drive to school, I've idled an average of 2 minutes. If Canadian motorists stopped idling for 3 minutes every day for every year, we would reduce 1.4 million tons of CO2 annually. But 36.5% of the people we surveyed don't even know how long they idle their cars.
Huh? Where did Caleb go?
On today's episode, we're going to be talking about sustainable cities and communities.
Caleb the Science Scrub. Caleb the Science Scrub. Scrub. Caleb the Science Scrub. Science is genuinely one of my favorite subjects. Scrub. Caleb the Science Scrub.
Oh, I didn't see you there. Hi, my name is Caleb the Science Scrub, and I love me some science. Together with my science squad, we raised many questions through a survey about transportation and cities and communities. The UN aims to provide access to safe, affordable, sustainable transport systems for all by the year 2030. And questions in our survey, including checking the participants' knowledge regarding their methods of transportation, such as efficiency of their car, idling time, and thoughts to improve on the transportation and infrastructure of the city.
Oi, I'm Bear the Grills Win, and I'm on the lookout for surveyors. Oh, look, there's a prime example of a surveyor. Now, be warned, the specimen may be aggressive, so I have to be extra careful, or I may lose my life. You, sir, are a prime example of our survey subjects. You are male, which accounts for 40% of our surveyors. You are under 18, which accounts for 78% of our surveyors. And you are living in a suburban area, which accounts for 40% of our surveyors. Now tell me, what is your primary mode of transportation?
Car.
That is an excellent answer and corresponds with the vast majority of our survey respondents. And now...
What's wrong with him? Why are you here? What do you want?
Sir, do you know how efficient your car is?
Yo, bro, I don't know.
Sir, it's measured in liters per 100 kilometers. Do you know?
Yo, I don't know, man.
Sir,
Yo,
it's okay.
I don't know.
Most of our
I don't know. I don't know.
We don't care. He's aggressive. Sir, do you know what type of gas your car uses?
Petroleum.
Would you support the development of subway infrastructure at the cost of land for wildlife?
No way, man. But for people, yeah.
To conclude our expedition, people generally favor convenience on their decisions with regards to infrastructure and cars and other aspects of cities and developments. However, we must continue to make progress and develop our interests in the cities and developments alongside the environments and wildlife, and thus strike a balance between the two. This concludes our installment of Man versus Surveys. Join us next time.
Here's a cool experiment that you can do at home to see the release of carbon dioxide emissions. So first what you need is some vinegar, empty water bottle, baking soda, and plastic balloons. So first what you want to do is get an empty plastic balloon, stretch it out a bit, and put 1 tablespoon of baking soda inside. Now what you want to do next is put 4 tablespoons of vinegar inside your empty plastic water bottle. After the finale of this experiment, what you want to do is put your balloon with the baking soda, put the end over the cap of the plastic water bottle, being sure not to spill any of the baking soda inside. Now, what do you guys think will happen? Well, when you put the baking soda inside, the balloon begins to expand. As you can see, the CO2 made this balloon expand at a rapid rate. Did you know that 65% of the greenhouse gases emitted are from CO2? Just because you can't see CO2 doesn't mean it doesn't affect you.
Oh, hey, Valvan.
Hey Sean, how'd you get to school?
Oh, I drove.
CO2 emissions are very bad for the environment.
Oh, I didn't know that.
If you're not CO2 free, you can't hang with me.
Time is now for strong leadership. Reagan for president.
24% of people don't feel safe using public transport, and 80% of these people are under the age of 18. This is something that we can all work together to fix, so we can create a better environment for the youth in our city. The first step in a sustainable city is creating a good environment for the youth.
And if you ask me, the only thing people should be worrying about is their chem and bio IAs.
Now you know!
I think what he's trying to say is that more than 50% of people are not willing to pay tolls to use certain highways.
Yeah, I think that's true. Also, around 80% support the development of bike lanes within cities.
Indubitably, due to increased government efforts in reducing vehicle congestion in cities, biking may become a growing alternative in city transportation.
And that concludes today's show of Caleb the Science Scrub. Today's episode has focused on sustainable cities and communities with special emphasis on transportation. However, there is much more to sustainable cities and communities than just transportation. So to explain more about that, I'll hand it over to the Science Squad.